it is visible. Okay. Okay. So the multidimensional array we discussed on the T9. Okay.
So here, this is for the star matrix. I will try to print it. Then we can see it's here like this.
Okay. So you said 4x4. Okay.
And this is for
Request.
number pattern that you told. I was still working actually. Few of them I completed, but I think I will be able to complete. I will not face an issue.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Okay. Try to complete it accordingly. Okay.
Yeah, and this is for this type actually.
Hmm.
And
Good.
there is one more, this one. And it is here, 111.
Perfect.
So I think in the same way I will complete the others. Three more
Okay.
is there, no? 5, 6 assignments are there. So 3 I completed, other 3 I will complete. Not an issue.
Okay, no worries. Okay, take your time. And there are plenty of pattern
One
problems
point
that.
I just want to know, this deep string that you told, it is for 3-dimensional or it is for 2-dimensional also?
Which one?
Deep to string. This one
Deep
to
string. Deep to string, that is for two-dimensional. For
for 3
one-dimensional, we will two-dimensional means more than one array.
Yeah.
Okay, more than
For
one dimension, we will be
2-dimensional,
using
simply we will print that particular
yeah,
array.
array is dot two
And
string.
for
If it is a
3-dimensional,
single
we need to
dimension,
print. For
sorry.
3-dimensional, we need to print in this way. Correct?
Yeah, yes. More than one dimension, you will go with deep two string. Okay, if it is a single dimension, you will say two string only.
Okay. So deep to string is for 2 also, 3 also, 4 also, more than one for every.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. This is why I just want to confirm.
That is deep to string is for all the things. I mean, more than one dimension. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So today, yes, we are going to start our OOP concept in Java. Oops. Yes.
So I will stop here. You can continue, please.
Yes, please. Let me share my screen and yeah. I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me take a task. So today we are going to talk about classes and object. Okay.
Yeah.
Classes and object. Okay. So just give me a second. Just let me rename it. Dot txt. Okay. Now coming over here. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so now today we are going to talk about the OOPS, okay, which is the full form of object-oriented programming. Why we want to go with the object-oriented programming? Okay, so object-oriented programming that deals with the real-time entities. Real-time entities. So when you want a solution for your real world problems, yes, we need the ops. Okay, so we have a procedural programming also. C language, if you take, that is a procedural programming, which will not solve the real-time entities. Okay, now coming over here with the OOPS. Okay, the object oriented programming language. The terms that are important are class and the object. And these two class object that we have already discussed on our day 2, right?
Yeah.
Class, we can say like a prototype, okay? Prototype or the template, we can say, right? template which helps to design the object state and behavior. So we humans are object. Okay, so human is a class and we can differentiate as an object. So object is a real world entity, we can say real world entity of a class. Now let's say like I have a blueprint. So template, you can also call it like a blueprint. I have a blueprint of a car. So I can go ahead and I can create a car, 10 cars with different colors, right? So those things we call it like a object. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay. So now let's see. Let's go ahead and create a class now. So I'm just going to create a class of customer. Okay. Let's say customer. I'm just going to have a customer alone now. So what are the things that I'm going to provide for the customer? I'm just going to say, let me say like int customer ID. Okay, then string name. Okay, then I want to display. Okay, so let's say like public void display. So simply I'm just going to display the customer name. Okay, okay, so here if you wanted to say, you can say like customer details. Okay, simply you can say customer ID. You can say customer ID, and then you can say like this customer name plus name, right? So this is how. Now we have a class over here. So now what is the class name over here?
Customer.
Customer. Okay, what is the keyword that we have used over here?
It's public class.
Public class. Okay, so public class, void, all those things are the keywords. Perfect. Okay, now what is this customer ID and name?
These are the objects.
Objects, customer ID and name or
These are
objects?
the variables. Variables.
Perfect. Variables. What kind of a variables are there?
One is integer, one is string.
Okay. The term of that particular variables. If you remember, we have discussed about three three variables. We discussed about the three types of variables.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh. So variables coming over here.
So variables are, I mean, three types of variables like uh, uh, object user defined and no, sorry, that
We have
reference
seen
variable
four. Yeah.
reference, and the other
Instance
one is
variable, reference variable, local variable, and
local
static
very
variable.
static. Yeah.
So now this customer ID and name that comes as the instance variable. Okay,
I
instance
think the
variable.
local static and this reference, these are scope of variable, na? If I'm not wrong.
You have a scope for all the variables. Scope
Okay.
is like the usage. Okay,
Hmm.
scope in the sense we talk about the usage, where it will be used or how it would be used. So all those things that comes under scope. Okay, now
But
yeah,
this is the type you mean reference
yeah,
and
type, yes.
local static.
I think variable is, I think we have discussed over here, right? Hmm.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
discussed already.
Yes. Okay, coming over to the instance variable, if you see, the variable which is declared inside the class, that is what we call it as an instance variable. Okay.
Yeah. This is
Now
public
let
class. We can access outside this. I mean, from the outside, we can access public class.
exactly. Now let's say like I'm going to create one more class over here in the name of tester.
And the scope of this class is not limited. It's
Yes.
access to outward.
So now if I say here, now I'm going to, oh my God, my bad, I created over here. Hmm. Now it's done. Okay, so now in this tester, I'm going to create an object of my customer class. Okay, so I created a new class file. In this, I'm going to create the object for my customer class. Okay, so simply you can say customer. Okay, and then let's say like customer new, and then we can say like customer, right? So this cust is what? Cust
Mm,
one. Cust one is a, what is the cust one?
this is object.
This
You
one is object. New customer is a object.
new
This
customer
cust
is the
one is a reference variable.
reference variable.
Okay.
Mm. So we can say here we created one object of customer, but you have created object for customer class and you have defined the tester class here, but
You can use it. That is what the usage, class usage. Okay.
in separate programs you can use, or you need to define this in the same program in the customer
No, no,
one.
no. See, you can use it in a different class also. See, I have
Different.
one customer class. Okay. Now I
Hmm.
can reuse this class wherever I want it.
In
Okay.
any of the programs, separate
Any
program.
of the, yes, yes, yes. Okay. So now I have a tester. Basically, the Java program will execute where we have the main method,
Okay.
right?
So
So
it will
here
take
you can have it.
automatically from there.
Yes. So now if you see, I have a student over here, right? So if I say student from day two, the basic thing is, can you see here import? Day two is the package. In that package, inside the package, we have the class that is called student. Now I can say like student S1 equal to new student. I can access the method. Okay, I can access the method what is there in the student class. Okay, what is there in the student class with the help of the dot operator, right? So I can simply say S1 dot. Okay, S1 dot. I can get it out. Okay, now 1 second. Huh. Now coming over here, it is showing an error. What was this error? Now let's go ahead with the student. So now coming over here, we want to make the visibility as public. Okay, we have to make the visibility of this constructor public. Now if you see, can you see it changed to public? So if you want to reuse the class in other class, yes, you have to make use of the public. So now
Before
coming
it
over
was
here,
private?
private means it won't be visible out.
No,
Okay,
before what was it? Now it's visible. Before, now just modified, or before also it was modified?
this one, this one was before we had like this only, right? Before that, if you see, I'm just going back. Can you see no modifications at all? There is no star symbol, right? Now let me see. This is the one we had. Now coming over here with the tester, there is an error, right?
Yeah.
Because this is the constructor. This is the constructor, right? With the parameter less. Now if I am passing a name over here, see, if I say name, error got
Gone.
disappeared.
If you
That is
are passing
because
without name, then you need to put public here.
no. So just wait. Okay. So here we are passing a value. Now coming over here, we have a constructor
Already name.
which accepts the value that
Name.
visibility is public.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's a reason the error disappeared. So now if we are not giving this, okay, it comes under the default constructor and the visibility option is not there. Okay, visibility option. So if you have make the visibility as public, the error would be disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Similarly, whatever you have used, for example, you want to take the stationary example. Yes, you can go ahead. You can make use of the stationary example. See, the thing is import statement. You have to say the package name dot which
Okay.
class you wanted.
Okay,
That's it.
that's fine. What about this customer that you used this class? So why it was not
Ah,
asking for import? Or
that
you
is
not imported?
because no. That is because both the class are in the same
Same
package.
package. If it's in the same package, then no need to import.
No need to import. Okay.
If it
If it is in a different package, then we have to go ahead and import it.
okay, understand.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
perfect. So now cust1 is the reference variable, new customer is the object. Okay. Now let's say like I'm going to say cust1 dot customer ID equal to, go to see 001. And I can say like cust underscore one dot name equals to, I can say customer John. And now if I say cust underscore one dot display, that's it. So now this is showing an error because when you have a more than one character, you have to enclose in the double quotes. Okay. And now coming over here, customer ID again showing an error because customer ID, we have made it as an integer. So here I have passed the value as string. So there comes an error. So I'll just go ahead and make this as string. Okay, so now if you go ahead and execute, you can see the customer details, customer ID, customer name. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Now I'm going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign, okay, I'm going to assign a customer ID here itself. Okay, so here itself I can assign C001. Okay, C001. And here, instead of like this, I'm going to create a constructor over here with the name John. So now I want to create a constructor over here which pass public customer, and here let's say string name. This dot name equal to name. Now why we are using this over here? Because for one class we will be having many objects. Okay, for one class we will be having many objects. For example, let me say like this. Okay, customer 2 equal to Mary, and customer 3, let's say customer 3, I say like I have a Peter. Like this I can have many customers. Outside the class, the customers are identified by the reference variable. Okay, outside the class, the customers are the objects are identified by the reference variable. Once you move inside once you pass the object to inside the class, so inside the class you need a reference. That is what this keyword is used. Okay, this keyword is used. Is that is clear? So outside the class, that is the reference variable will take care. Inside the class, we have a this keyword. Is that is
So,
clear?
so this keyword is used for reference.
Referring the object inside the class.
Okay.
Okay. Outside, you have cust1, cust2, cust3. Inside the class, cust1 will represent it as this, cust2 will be represented as this, cust3 will be represented as this. Got it?
Yeah.
Now, if I go ahead and execute, C001 is John. Okay, now coming over here, I will say over here also. Customer details, customer ID C001, John, customer ID 001 Mary, customer ID 001 Peter. Is it possible to give the same customer ID to all the customers?
No, it is not possible practically.
It is not possible, right? So how we can do that? So for that only, we are going to bring the concept of static variable. Static variable is a variable that belongs to a class rather than any specific object. If I have 10 chocolates, if I am distributing to 10 people, at the end, I should not have any chocolate. And at the same time, when I'm moving to one by one, okay, when I'm moving one by one, my chocolates should get decrease. It should not be 10 towards 10 also towards the end. Okay,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
you can put it on the static. So now how you can declare a static? Static with the help of the static keyword. I'm going to have a count over here. I'm just going to have a count as 0. Okay, now I want to assign the customer ID. Okay, I want to assign the customer ID. Okay, my customer ID should start with 1. Okay, my customer ID should start with 1. Okay, so now coming over here, inside the customer itself, inside the constructor itself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a method. Okay, call a method. What is the method? Assign customer ID. Okay, assign customer ID. Now we have to create this assign customer ID method. What will happen in this customer ID? So we are going to take the static count, we are going to increment, and we are going to put it back to the customer ID. Okay, is that clear?
Static int count you given 0, then you.
So I want to, with the help of this count, I'm going to assign the customer ID to the customers. How it would be? Let me show you. So first customer is John, right? We have a
Yeah.
first customer, John. So we have
Yeah.
to say customer ID 1 as John. So what we are going to do, we are going to take this count, we are going to increment, and we are going to assign it. Or you can say like this 1000 also, you can say, you can start with 1000 also. So the customer ID should start with 1001, let's say. Okay, customer ID should start with 1001. So now what you can do directly, if you don't want to give the method, directly you can say. How you can say this dot customer ID is equal to plus plus count. Okay, plus plus count. Now coming over here, okay, customer ID is a string and here count is an integer. Now what is the form we want? We want it in the form of C and this, right? So let's say like ID, let's say like int ID equal to plus plus count. Then here we are going to say C plus, okay, C plus integer dot parse int customer ID. Oh, sorry, uh, converting the string to the integer. So now let's say like you want to convert this integer to string. Okay, integer to string you have to convert. So for that, what we will be doing? Okay, for that, what we will be doing? Just you have to say, string dot value of ID. That's it. Okay, you're converting the integer to the string. Okay, you're converting the integer to the string. Now let's execute it, see what is happening. Can you see? Z1001, 1002, 1003. Can you see here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now if you give thousands of customers also, the IDs will be assigned equally.
Actually, what I want that it should ask through prompt actually. If we will not initialize in starting 1000, let it be like customer ID we are doing, na?
See,
String
this is
customer
like
ID.
a base customer ID. You can go ahead and ask the customer. I mean, you can prompt the user to enter the value, but in the real time, whenever you go, the application number or the role number or whatever employee number, that will be generated only. In none of the real world scenario stating that you can come up with your own ID, right? Now, even if you can implement in your stationary example also. So you can ask a question like, are you an existing user or new user? If it is a new user, generate the ID and give it to them. Got it?
If it's existing, then need to give the same.
Sorry?
Can you go to the that program that you given customer ID? Student customer, yeah.
Yeah.
See int ID plus plus count ID. So instead of plus plus, it's okay. Plus plus count, that is fine. Name, understand name, string. So first you declared, then after that public customer, you are creating the constructor, correct?
Where?
In the first module, you declared the account and customer ID name. In the second, you are
Hmm.
creating the constructor. This is constructor or method.
This
What
is
what will be?
constructor. This is the constructor for our class. And this is the method for our class.
This is for display. This
Display
print
is the method.
method to print method inside the class.
That's all. Method inside the class. And this is constructor.
No, this is a method, but we are displaying, na display method, displaying this.
I'm just printing the message. That's all.
Either we will say method inside the class or we will say printing the class. Huh?
No,
What
not
we will
printing the
say?
class. No, 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 no. No, not like that. See, this is a user-defined method. You can go ahead and you can customize it. That's all. Suppose if you want to print the same outside also, what you can do over here is just you'll be calling the method. Like let's say like okay, no outside. Customer ID. I'm just going to say just one dot customer ID. Like this. Now again, if I want to say two more or many objects, what I do, I have to take their object and I have to do it. But I don't know how long it will come. I don't know the total count of the object also.
Actually, now I understand. You customer one display. These are the uh, objects.
Method.
Method.
Customer 1, customer 2, customer 3
This
are
is
objects.
reference.
So reference variable. New customer, maybe new
These are the
customer Peter
objects.
are
Yeah, yeah.
objects. Yes.
So here you are doing like this in that customer program. Can you go to that customer program?
Yeah.
Here, constructor. So these both program are interrelated. I mean, depend on each other.
Customer
Correct.
is independent, but tester is dependent.
Tester is dependent and customer is independent totally.
Yes. This tester is independent. So this tester is dependent because we have
We
included
are
the object
importing
of
the, yeah,
customer.
customer class, that I
That's the
understand
reason
because
it
of that.
is dependent.
So what will be the output of this program, this tester?
Here you go.
Okay, this is the, and what about the output of customer program? Can we go to that?
Customer, here you will get only this stop.
Can you just print again?
Yeah, sure. For that, I'll just display and come on this.
No, no, one second. I want to I want to print you to customer Java. You don't go to tester. I just want to see what is the output of that.
So here you cannot print it because here you don't have a main class, right? If you have a main class, then only you can go ahead and print it.
So
That
where,
main class only I have created in the tester class.
so which is the main class? Main class is public static void main string. Okay. This is the entry point of program. Can you go to,
Exactly.
can you please, sorry, can you go back to the customer class? Just want to see. It is not here. Okay. So I think both are dependent on each other because tester is dependent for customer class and we cannot do anything in the customer. This is just we are declaring the constructor here. That's it. Hmm?
Now this is independent in the sense like this class can be used in many classes where the main is defined. Now if I want to run this main method, and I have given a customer over here. So my tester class is dependent on the customer because this should be exist. If the customer is not existing, it can't do anything. And at the
No,
same
that
time,
is fine. I understand. Don't talk
mm,
about tester class. Go back to the please customer class. I am focusing on that. I know tester is dependent on customer class. And here, if we want to execute this independent of tester, it will execute. What will be the output? It will not execute, no, because the main
you
method
don't
is
have
not
the
there.
option only. See, coming over here, you won't have the option of running as application.
Because main method is not there.
Yes.
So this is we are just so what we are doing, just we are creating the class and its object constructor here, or what we are
We are
doing
just
here
having
actually.
the we are just having a variables and custom constructor and some methods. That's all.
So do we need to define this method? It's not required even here, huh? Not required,
Even
I
you can
think.
have a main method over here.
Yeah, if we will have, that is fine. No need to write. I
Mhm.
know. If we will have, then obviously it will print.
Obviously.
So So method we are defining here, there is no need for this method. I think it's already in the tester, all three methods. Correct?
Which method?
These three methods are already there in the tester, I think. The
We have constructor, display. That's all. No? Three methods, right?
Hmm. No, I'm telling that you are already doing print of this customer ID and name, no? So I think okay, that's fine. You have defined. It's okay.
See here, in the
Hmm.
class itself, if you define the display, whatever object you create, automatically it will be considered.
So
Now,
it
when
will take
you do,
automatically. It will.
yeah, when you do it outside, can you see cust 1 dot, cust 2 dot, cust 3 dot, cust 4 dot, cust 5? If 100 customer object is also there, then I have to go with cust 100. So that is the lengthy process, right? So you, instead of going ahead and displaying the details outside the class, put it inside the class only so that it will be easy. Just with one term, display, display, display. You will get customer 1 details, customer 2 details, and
Yeah, I
customer 3
understand now.
details.
This display method we are just calling from here and in that customer class display method is here. So this is a it's like a function, correct? If I'm not wrong, method of, I mean, display method
Yes, display method is a kind of a function. That's all.
function, kind of function. And one constructor is we have defined. Constructor is just like creating the building for the objects or reference variables. Okay, understand. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So now here we talked about the static variable. Okay. Now next, moving further. Now we are going to talk about, see, when you say ups, I mean when you say object, okay, when you say oops concept, okay, we have some principles to be followed. Okay, we have to be followed some principles. What was that? Okay, so coming over here, the first thing you will have OP principles, let me say. The first one we have encapsulation. Okay, then we have abstract inheritance, let's say. Third, we have polymorphism. Fourth, we have abstraction. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we have abstraction, we have polymorphism, okay, and then we have inheritance, and we have encapsulation. Polymorphism, we already have defined this. Polymorphism is many forms, right? Many forms, which we call it like a method overriding, and method overloading. Okay, So method overriding and method overloading. So coming over to this polymorphism. Okay, when you say method overriding, okay, method overriding, that we call it as runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism. During the runtime, the compiler will decide which method to go. That is what method overriding. Method overloading. Okay, method overloading means compile time polymorphism. Okay, we call that as compile time polymorphism. So in the during the compile time itself, it will take. That is what the method overloading is. That is what one method, I mean same method name, different arguments. So if you remember, we have discussed, right, with the help of the customer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the same thing only over here. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the encapsulation first. Okay, encapsulation. So what is that coming to your mind when you hear this term encapsulation?
Yeah, encapsulation, like encapsulating something in the capsule form.
Okay, now coming over here, let's go to our customer class. Now I'm going to have a balance, let's say double balance.
Actually, it's like putting some data in a single method or single unit. It's like something. It's like the same like we have some capsule, na? Inside we are putting some data or something, some material. So it's like putting some data or some methods into single object or single unit, we can say. If I'm not talking, I don't know.
So now coming over here, encapsulation is binding the data and method together inside the class. Okay, binding the data and method together inside the class, and we are going to restrict the direct access to some of the object. Now coming over here, when you say, okay, when you say encapsulation, okay, we are just going to what you can say, like bind the data and methods together inside the class. What does that mean? What does we are going to do over here? Okay, which means like we are going to hide the internal state of the object. Okay, we are just going to say what happened. We are not going to say how it worked. Okay, we are just going to display the result, but we are not going to show how it worked. So for example, let me say like balance. Okay, so let's say like the customer is asking total number of balance. Okay, total number of balance. So in that case, directly I have to go ahead and display it. I should not show that how it worked to display. Got the point?
Yeah, yeah. For the real world, we will just show how it will display. We will not show. I mean, the background method. Why we will not show, no? That one.
Exactly. That is what the encapsulation. Okay. That is
Okay.
what the encapsulation
So
that
in
we call.
actual in encapsulation, we are creating some data class also to bind with the object or class.
Now coming over here with the encapsulation, see, let me say like I have created the balance, right? So now coming over here outside the class, it should not direct. So my balance should not access directly, or any of my variables that should not access outside the class directly. So in that, what I have to do, I will be making
Can
this
you please create separate? I mean, for the data. I mean, for this.
encapsulation. Okay. Now imagine, okay, okay, now I have integer. Okay, let me say like static. I'm just doing the same thing only. Okay, how it had over here, the same thing.
Yeah,
Let me
you
see.
can copy all everything
Hmm.
from here.
Now coming over here, instead of customer ID, I have to say student ID. In here, I have to say encapsulation. Name, let it be student ID. Now coming over here, if you see, we are getting the student ID's name from outside the class, right? So outside the class, simply what we are doing, we can simply go ahead and say, let's say like, now C2 is Mary, right? So what I can do, I can simply go ahead and say C customer 2 equal to, I can say XYZ. Okay, customer 2 dot name equal to XYZ or XYS, I can say. So that will also be considered as a name over here. Can you see XYZ? So
Okay.
now encapsulation means whatever I have inside the class, that should not be visible outside. Okay, that should not be visible outside. So if they want to if they want to access outside, they can use the getter and setter methods. I'm going to restrict the direct access to some of the objects that I have in my class. Now let's say like I have the student. Okay, I have the student class. Now for me, like let's say like student marks is important. Let's say, okay, student marks or student grade is important. Now I want to keep this very safe. Okay, I want to keep this very safe. So you can say like CAR grade or whatever it is. Okay, now I want to keep it very safe. So in that case, what I want to do, I have to say private. I want to use the keyword called private. Okay, that is clear. Now if I want to make use of this private, so now if you come over here to the tester, okay, to the tester also what I do, I will create the encaps student is es1 equal to new. So string name, I'm just going to say, okay, es1. Now if I want to fetch, okay, if I want to fetch the name, okay, if I want to fetch the name, what I want to do, I want to take this, right? Okay, in this we have a constructor where we have the string name. So now coming over here, what I want to do, ES1 is there, NIDA is there. I have passed. So this is passed to the method, this particular one. Okay, this particular one. So now what I want to do, if I say ES1 dot display. Okay, now what will happen? So you can see C1001 NIDA. This is because it is forming a different class, right? It is formed in the different class. Now coming over here, this NIDA is represented to what? Represented to what? Represented to what? Which one
Name,
it is represented? Name.
student name.
Okay. Okay. Now coming over here, you are making use of the count way. I mean, count static variables and all those things. Now I want to make use of the grade. So how I can do that? So I should not make the steps visible outside how the grade is calculated. Okay, how the grade is calculated, I should not show outside. So in that case, what we have to do? That is what the encapsulation. So coming over here, tester. In the tester only, we are going to make use of the encapsulation student class, right? So which is in the different file. Even though if it is a different file, you can use private and you can start using the getter and setter methods. Is
So
that is
what you
clear?
did in the so our tester is accessible to the outside, but encapsulation this one is not accessible. So you
Exactly.
what you change you did in the tester to show the name? I mean this.
I'm using the same tester. Okay. So this
I
is
think there is no change. Just you
no
change the
change
name.
at all.
That's it.
Exactly. So now coming over here, grade, right? Okay. So now if you want to make use of a grade, so now let's say I want to display this grade outside. Okay, I'm just going to say S1 dot grade. ES1 dot grade.
No,
Okay.
no. One
What
second. Why you do the separate? Why you not to define in the that display method itself and you call to that display method?
no, now I'm showing you that the variables, cannot access outside of your class with this private keyword.
Okay, so private cannot be accessed like this display you shown here there.
Exactly, because the others are public. You can go ahead and make use of it, but the grade is private.
So if you will not make it private, then there is no meaning to put it. Then it's public.
Then
Like
that is, you can go ahead. See, can you see the error mark disappeared?
yeah,
Okay, now coming over here, if you say private,
private.
then that you can see an error.
Yeah, error came.
Okay, one second. This error will be the test check. Error came. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So now I want to make use of the grade, but my grade is private. I want to make use of it outside. I want to display the grade. Obviously, if the student is coming and checking for the grade, we have to display the grade, right? But the grade is private over here. So what we do, we have to go ahead with the getter and setter methods. Just right click on it, go with the refactor, okay, and then okay, I think go with source. Go with source. You can go with generate and getter methods. There you select what you want for the getter and setter. Get and set generated. Now you have the getter and setter methods. Get method and set method. Now if you go ahead and if you instead of grade, if you say get grade, that's it will get the get method. Okay, is it clear?
But still red it's what?
Wait, now coming over here, let's say like this one, right? Once again. This one dot. See, now it's gone. So properly we have to give the method name. Is that clear? So get grade is the name, getter setters method. Okay. Get method is like getter and setter we will say. So you
So
have to generate the get.
get grade is for I mean to print that, and set is to set the grade. Both.
Yeah, see, now the variable what we have given over here is set as private. So in order to access the private variable inside or outside the class, you have to go ahead with the getter and setter method.
Okay, so what getter will do and what setter will do in both?
Getter will get the value and it will assign
Your
the
voice is,
value.
I mean, not proper.
Okay, is it possible? I mean, is it audible now?
Now it's okay.
Okay, now getter means assigning the value. Okay, getter means assign the value. Sorry, get means fetch the value, set means assign the value. Now, coming over here, if you say here es1 dot grade equal to, let's say like a, okay, let's say a, or let's make this as string. Sorry, I'll go close the customer. Okay, student, I'll say this as string. Now coming over here, I'll make this also string and this also string. Now coming over here, if you see grade is there, I will make this as A
AB,
plus.
A plus.
Okay, A plus. This grade is a string, so I have given A plus, but this grade is protected with the encapsulation. So if you want to assign or if you want to get the value, you have to say set method. How you will say ES1, the object name dot set grade A plus. That's all. You should not do like this. So this will be like this. Set the grade, and then once you set, you can get the grade. That's it. If you run this, you will get it. See, A plus.
Yeah, understood.
So the same thing you can put it inside the class also. Same thing inside the class also you can do. How you can do? With the help of the this method. This dot grade equal to A plus. Then here in the display, you can say grade. In this you can say this dot get grade. This dot get grade. So now you can see, okay, grade equal to A plus. Can you see? Grade
Yeah.
is A plus. Now, sorry. Let me see here. Customer name, yes. So these are for customer, right? Now this is for the encapsulation student. Well, let me do like this. Yeah, the next class, that is student details, student ID C1001, name A plus grade. Okay. So finally, you are setting the grade over here. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what we call it like a encapsulation, hiding the direct method over there. Okay, values over there or the variable names over there. Okay, you're giving whatever it is. Okay,
Yeah.
you're giving the getter and setter, getting getter and setter. Okay, getter and setter. So you don't want to write the getter and setter by your own. Right click on your project, go to source, and you have getter and setter method.
Okay.
Okay, simply you can go ahead and click on this. It will ask to which variable you want to create getter and setter. So
So
you can go ahead and select
you
it.
went from Windows or from where you went in that? One
Now
second.
here, right click,
Hmm.
place the cursor, right click, source,
Source.
getter and
Okay.
setters.
Okay. Understood.
Getter and setters. Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So today we talked about encapsulation. Okay, encapsulation is like binding the data and methods. Okay, binding the data and methods. Polymorphism, yes, we already have seen about the overloading, overriding spending that we will see. So we are left with inheritance, abstraction and overriding that we will see in the next session. Okay, so today we started with the oops, let's say intro. Okay, and then we started with the variables and variables class and object in oops. Okay, and then we started with the oops principle. Okay, oops principle, encapsulation. Okay, encapsulation and the polymorphism method overloading. Is this clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next class we will connect and we will talk about the inheritance, abstraction, and the method overriding. Okay.
Sure.
All right then. Okay. Thank you.
Any homework
No,
today?
you complete the pending one. Altogether, the 4 principles I will give you.
Sure. Sure. Just
Okay.
want to know, is possible to do on weekends?
Yes, we can do it. Okay. I'll give the time. You want in the morning half or in the evening half?
Any of the half you can, but just if you want to take in morning, then let me know. I mean, today. If you want to take in tomorrow evening, then let me know in tomorrow morning. So that will be
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Time is
Okay.
fine
Okay.
for me. I don't have an issue.
Okay. 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 I'll get that. I'll check the team. I'll check with the team and then I'll ask the team to convey it to you. Okay.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank-
Happy
Bye.
weekend.
Thank you, same.